getting dicey.
Like a fan theory.
Yeah, this is my fan theory that
Cool
the
new fan
Revenants,
theory.
they got a bit slippery on the way up. They already fell in the ravine, got covered in an avalanche, and they are no more.
Imagine if they were climbing up the mountain and then a fucking giant goat landed on them.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That'd be amazing.
Can you basically let us all roll a d20, and if two of the four of it get a 20, you'll say that the Revenants were crushed by a Sangsaw?
That seems
Never
fair.
coming back.
So what are the rules?
We'll all roll one d20.
Okay.
If two of us get a nat 20.
Oh yeah, go
The
right ahead.
Revenants will have been
Yeah.
crushed by
Absolutely.
Sangsaw.
Everyone give me a
So
D20.
Wow.
It's a 1 in 400.
Yeah.
I got a 3.
Who's next?
I got.
Now I have also rolled a 3.
Wait, you just said rolling.
So close.
You didn't
didn't
type
write
roll
D.
D20. You said roll 20, and it did.
That's cheating!
Was that on purpose?
No, it wasn't.
All right.
Oh,
no.
no.
Okay, I got a
Fucking
12.
genius.
So unfortunately, that didn't happen. What? Did it work? No. I don't know. You wrote rolling 20. I don't know what's happening. Okay. It's
I was like, fire and roll 2.
oh, that's 2 of them. No, so it's like 9 o'clock at night now. It is pretty cold within this. Because
Yeah, we're good.
okay, it's
We are taking it seriously, I promise.
okay. It is
No.
nighttime within the guard tower. It's incredibly cold. The warm weather gear that you guys have on at the moment is keeping you warm enough, but it is still quite frigid within this guard tower. And there is wind whipping down the stairs and through this tower. You've recently just put that lock back onto the door, onto that big wooden door. It's 9 o'clock. What's next for the group? Just as a reminder, you haven't you've experienced or you've looked through the ground floor, you've looked through the floor above you, and that there is a ladder leading to a trapdoor in the floor above you as well that has not been investigated. Just if you needed a reminder, and you know that somewhere on the mountain right now there are 2 revenants making their way up.
Are there any candles or torches on the walls?
No. This guard tower. Well, not on this floor. You don't see any. But there is on the southern wall. There is a fireplace. There is a lot of wind whipping down that as well, and you're seeing a little bit of snow landing in the fireplace and sort of melting.
I have a question about a spell.
Okay.
In this, you had something quickly to add? I feel I
I was
interrupted
just saying
you.
someone should block up that fireplace. That's all.
Well, I was going to ask, because I've got a cantrip that I've never used, and it says I can instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire. And I'm like, well, this isn't a campfire, but it's a fireplace.
I would allow it. Like if you
I
had,
finally get to use my cantrip.
but it would
have to be
require.
that specific.
It would definitely require maybe some searching for some wood, but like outside, there's no wood in the hearth at the moment.
Okay,
I'll
well,
go. I reckon I'll volunteer to go out for 5 minutes looking for wood.
okay, well, be careful.
Yeah.
I will.
Cold out
Should
there.
I'll come with you. We shouldn't go out unaccompanied at a time like this.
All right. I was trying to do you a bit of a favour there, but if you want to come along,
Well, I
See you, I
think
guess.
Brian would go, honestly. I'm a little bit chilly.
It's very cold.
right. So I'll just put it out there. I am happy to go alone, but if there's going to be a fight about who wants to accompany old Captain Morley, then best resolve it quickly, eh? None of us are getting any younger.
Does anyone want to go?
I'll go.
Thanks, Bill. Jesus, that was harder than it needed to be, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, we have such a trouble making decisions as a team.
Can I just, before you go, hey, if you spot any dead bodies, could you bring them back with you?
If we can manage the wood and the body, then yep. Does
Okay,
that sound
but
fair?
Don't burn the bodies.
Priority 1 wood.
No, high priority is bodies, I would say.
I
Yes,
would
'cause
not
then-
say that. What's going on here? We're really talking about now
If we-
we started out looking for wood, now we're on a corpse hunt.
If you bring back a corpse to dead Brian, you'll have someone to go and get you wood.
That's true.
Right, if we see a dead body, we'll call you immediately. How does that sound? Bill, you could message him.
Yeah, I'll
Just
give you a
bring the
bell.
bodies back. Don't have to tell me. you bring
Well,
them.
we'll definitely tell you about it.
You've still got 2 skeletons, right?
I've got 2 live ones and 1 not live ones. I just imagine that a lot of people are being killed by rocks around here and etc. So if you do see the remains of some poor soul, we're definitely
It's likely
running
to
low
be on the
on.
other side of the green gate, though, isn't it? If there's dead bodies around.
I don't know. They might have come up from. Back.
Well, look, we'll keep our eyes out. How does that sound?
Okay.
Why don't we? Can we bring one of your skelly boys, and they
It's
can
cold out
help
there.
us? Yeah, but they're immune to it, aren't they?
That's
Do
true,
they feel the
but
cold?
No, they're fine.
Why,
Okay.
why
Yeah.
are we going at all?
Why?
Said
Why don't them going
All
alone?
right. The two of us and the skeleton search for wood for 5 minutes. Does
Okay.
anything happen?
All right, yeah. Why don't you guys give me a we'll go investigation or survival, whichever one you feel you would like to roll. From
right.
both of you.
And while they're doing that, let's check out that trap door, Brian. I don't want any surprises in the night.
It's cold.
Spotwood roll for
Okay.
21.
All right, that's pretty good. We'll do a couple of things. So Bill and Morley, you guys head outside with the skeletons, leaving both Baron and American. Sorry, let's just do one thing here. Leaving Baron, American, and Casimir inside the tower. You guys walk out, and again, you both have dark vision, so you're sort of seeing black and white, just the surroundings out to about 60 feet. And you're just seeing lumps of snow and snow just whipping past you. But you can see the path leading further north, and you make your way further north, and eventually you see just up before another sort of bridge off to the north is a couple of trees. And I can say that you guys can spend however long snapping off as much of the branches and wood that you can get and carry back. You don't find any on the ground, but you do have these trees with more than enough wood as part of it. While you guys are doing that, we have American and the Baron back in the guard tower. American has just exclaimed her want of investigation.
Okay.
Is
Do you
that
think it's safe? I'll follow you.
I don't know if it's safe. I don't know. That's why I'm investigating. Let's go.
Okay.
Probably extremely haunted, just like everything in Barovia.
you guys push against the wind, coming just forcing its way down those stairs, and you find yourself on that second floor now. All of the windows, they're more openings than they are windows, just allowing that breeze to force its way through this part of the tower. And there is a ladder just in the middle of this room, leading to a trapdoor in the ceiling, a wooden trapdoor. And there's a wolf's head, a dire wolf's head, above the hearth here. So it looks like you could either light a fire here or downstairs, and they share that chimney.
Oh. That's clever.
Well, I climbed the ladder.
Okay, great. It's not locked. You just push that open with ease. So let's move you up onto the top of the guard tower. Up here you see 10-foot tall gold-plated statues standing atop this battlement, facing outwards. Each one depicting a female human knight holding a lance. The cold wind stirs the snow, under which you see human skeletons clad in rusty mail.
Brian!
Look
your
at-
lucky day!
We've hit paid corpse. Corpse day.
Brian, I think Baron, I think you're the only one that doesn't have dark vision, so it's there's very little light up here, but obviously
Dim vision.
Yeah, so American has sort of pointed out what you can see. You are really only able to see very close surroundings from the little amount of light coming through. But American, you can see off the top of this here, and it's just darkness 60 foot out. It just feels like you're infinitely high up in the sky at this point.
Are they gold statues of warrior women, American?
Hold on a minute. I'm going to take out from my pack, I have a torch, and I'm going to click my finger open, and it will spring to life with flame.
Oh, great. So, yeah, you now see exactly what American is seeing, Baron. Just this beautiful...
It looks good by flame.
Yeah,
well.
just beautiful
Gold.
flickering light on these golden statues around you. And now you're seeing also, it looks to be like maybe 4 skeletons hidden away under the snow here. Each of them wearing rusty mail. You've got like these tattered bits of cloth hanging off them, some broken longbows, some rusty blades in these ruined old rusty sheaths. And they're and they're just all lying.
Oh my.
Brilliant.
These statues must be worth a fortune.
And these corpses are probably worth quite a bit.
Opulent. People who must have lived in great riches must have been here. I've never, in a place such as Barovia, this level of wealth is mind-blowing.
And
What are we
that's a
dealing
good
with up
point.
here?
Is it real gold? And if it is, I'm surprised it hasn't been pilfered.
It is. It's real gold. Upon inspection, it seems
I'm
that
going to give it a bite.
the soft gold makes dents between your teeth. But yeah, these eight statues.
I feel like that's
are
what
fully
Morley
gold.
would do.
Don't tell Morley. He'll bite the whole lot.
He'll eat the whole thing. So, I mean, how much must this be worth?
In this
is
market,
crazy. This market.
a lot. 4
A
gold
lot.
statues.
I'm just
worth.
thinking.
Well-
I'm just thinking. I mean, you and I both must have spells that require quite a great deal of wealth to perform. This could really enable us to do some incredible things, Brian.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. I've got a lot of spells to learn, actually.
There you
And
do.
that requires gold. Okay, but I'm just suspicious that just about everything else is being ripped off in the Barovia. There's no gold. Everything's been taken. Why are these not? Why haven't these been pilfered?
It's probably that anyone who comes up here just gets killed, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I mean, it could be more mystical than that. I'm not saying.
No, I think you're probably right. Hopefully you're right. I just wonder if we touch them and we get a massive electric shock like that tower. Remember that?
Ooh, can you do a magic type thing to tell?
American did bite them already.
That's canon.
Yeah. Joe, can you give me an investigation roll, please?
I thought you were going to say, now that you've bitten them, can you please give me a Constitution saving throw?
You've been poisoned. It was poisoned gold.
Oh no! Did you say
Just an
investigation?
investigation roll, yeah.
Well, that's a +0 for me.
Okay.
Oh, it didn't roll properly. Hang on, sorry. Let me roll that in Roll20 instead.
11. 11's
I've rolled
enough.
an 11 +0.
Yep, no, that's more than enough. So you go to investigate where you've bitten, and you've definitely dented a little bit, but it looks like you sort of get your nail and pick away at it, and does look like these are just gold plated. So it's definitely real gold on the outside, but it's not too far in before it turns to silver. Or a metal.
Silver? Only
sorry,
silver?
Sorry, a metal,
To
sorry. Not
platinum.
like a steel.
Well, Wow, that's better than gold foil, American. Can I see
there
the
anything
others
else up
down
here?
there?
From
Dark, I guess.
this height, no. Like the torch that American's holding is just really lighting up all of the snow whipping around you, making it quite hard to see. And there are like a good 80 foot down from here anyway.
Oh, okay.
Well,
hopefully they
It's
come
freezing
back.
up here.
So it is cold. For now, I'm just going to try and pull a skeleton down or push it down the trapdoor and actually just drop them down. I suppose it'd be fine.
yeah, are you moving all four of them down?
Yeah. Does it look? Can I, before I do that, can I investigate, see how they died? Perhaps what was the cause? of their-
Yeah. Give me
Ryan, you can.
a medicine check. I guess would be a good one for that.
Medicine?
Is it medicine? Maybe
Not
that'd be-
investigation.
Okay, give me investigation.
Okay, because I'm good at that. Not medicine, not. Okay. I have +9. Okay, so here it is. 6 + 9, 15.
It's weird. There doesn't seem to be any markings on any of the bones. So there's no meat left on them. It looks like they've been here easily 100 years or so, left sort of buried under a large amount of snow. But there's no cut marks on any of the bones. You're looking for stab wounds around the rib cages. You're looking for damage to the head where they may have been hit by something. You're not finding any physical damage to these skeletons.
And it doesn't look like they were dressed anything like the statues or anything like
The
that.
clothes are what is left on them is way too tattered to tell. The only thing that's really remaining is the rusty chain mail that they've got on.
Can I have just a quick look at these statues and see if I recognize anything about them? Do they look like recognizable heroes, or are they more like
They're
just a standard craft?
They're no one you recognize. They don't look to be like godlike or anything. They don't look to be.
Are they all individual?
No,
looking, or
they're all.
is them the same?
There's really small differences, but nothing major. Like mainly just small changes to the face. But they're all female. They're all. They all look to be kitted out in like knight attire. So there's most of the face is covered. You see a little bit. It's mainly just the mouths that are different. And honestly, that could just be down to the craftsmanship, not specifically trying to capture a detail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, can't you speak to dead people? I mean, if we want to know more about this tower and these statues, couldn't you talk to some of their skeletons?
Hey, that's not a bad idea. I do have speak with dead.
We could do
I'll
it all
just-
together. It would be like kind of like a party trick. We could all gather around the fire.
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Let's take the corpses downstairs and meet up with the others.
What's the rule with speak with dead? Doesn't they have to have been? I can't remember if it's dead for a certain amount of time or.
Yes, I'm just looking at it.
Well, you look that up. Let's head back to Morley, the two skeletons, and Bill, who have by this point managed to snap off or cut off a large amount of the closest branches that they're able to get from both of the trees. And the skeletons are all loaded up with branches at this point.
Is that I dropped off, and the last thing I heard you say was, "And you see." But I take it we just kind of made our way to these trees up here to start getting some wood off them.
You found these two trees, yeah, and they had plenty of wood, like from branches that you'd be able to remove, basically.
We rolled investigation to see those two huge trees.
Well, you
Okay.
rolled.
I got it.
They were far away from where you were. You kind of got. If you had rolled badly, you wouldn't have seen them until the morning.
Okay.
Or you would have gone off the cliff.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You found 8 other trees that aren't on this map that I've got here, because you rolled well.
Right
Bill,
trees.
All right. Well,
looks like we found
This
a
seems
load of wood.
it seems like the right amount of wood for us for the night.
I agree.
Let's head back and start warming up. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Skelly boys.
Thanks, skeletons.
Okay,
They're
great.
just supervising.
All right. So you guys enter into the tower again, bar the door to make sure it's all locked from the inside. Baron and American, you guys have dropped and dragged these skeletons down the stairs.
Let's set them up, American, like a little, like we're having a tea party or something, and they'll be like, "What's going on? You got cool friends over for visiting?"
Casimir, we're going to do a joke. Casimir, we're going to do a joke.
With these dead bodies, these skeletons.
Yeah.
Okay. Seems
Normal.
Yep.
One of them's not his sister, is it? That would be terrible.
They were just upstairs, were they?
Yeah, on the roof, under the snow.
Okay. It seems appropriate, I guess, to set them up as a joke, I guess. Yep.
Yeah, set them up as a joke. It's normal. When they come in, you sit behind one and like wave its arms, say, "Hi, Morley. Hi, John." Bill.
Okay.
He's not. He doesn't get it, Brian. He doesn't get it. He
Oh.
doesn't get it.
No, I can do this. I can do it.
We've peer pressured him into
It's going to be one of those situations where
desecrating a corpse.
It's going to be one of those situations where like he's the only one doing it, eh? Like Bill
Yeah.
and Morley come in with all this wood,
Yeah.
and Casimir's got a skeleton in front of him waving it.
And then
Do
we
we-
just act like, oh my,
my
that is such a bad take, Casimir. Ugh.
It used to be a person.
Have some respect.
So that happens. That all.
Yes.
No!
Ignore that.
I would never prank Casimir. He's been through enough.
That is now. That's canon.
No,
Getting
I
Dicey's story?
unprank him.
Oh.
No, would never.
Okay. Morley, Bill, you enter in and you see that Baron, American, and Casimir have these skeletons laid out and sort of propped up like they're having a little tea party. And Casimir,
Oh, God.
Casimir grabs the arm of one of them and just waves, and he's like, "Hello, boy," like trying not to move his lips.
I draw my crossbow. What's going on? Is anyone in danger?
Yes. We got it, American.
I put my hand on Morley's crossbow and start lowering it, and just go,
Oh,
Casimir, I expected this from the Baron.
I see.
I
Casimir's idea.
kind of expected it from American. But you?
Right.
And he just slowly puts the skeleton arm down.
No, I'm going to put my hand on Casimir's shoulder and be like, I like your sense of humour.
It's all a big
Clash.
joke, is it?
Quite humorous. We were
What
being
have you
humorous
done?
about it.
What would you have done if I had fired off a bolt? Eh? And you know my aim, it would have gone straight through Casimir's head.
That's true. I didn't think this through.
They found
But
them.
look,
It was a good joke. Well done.
Yeah, they found these skeletons up on the roof.
4 perfect skeletons.
Well,
Did you find any?
I don't know.
No, we didn't come across any perfect skeletons.
Maybe if they had rolled their investigation higher, they Adam. No,
Didn't
but
need
they-
it.
I rolled 21. I thought that was pretty good.
The wait,
Wood, baby.
yeah. The I forgot that you guys bolted the door. I think the skeletons come in behind you with just arms loads full of these branches, and start loading them into the fire, what they can into the fireplace, and putting what's left just off to the side.
Very
Right, got
good.
a nice
very
big-
good.
Fat thicket.
What?
We brought back a nice big thicket.
Well, that sounded particularly rude. Yeah, that's good though.
It was calling it fat. I
What?
think was the thing. That,
Yeah, I've never heard a thicket described as.
I don't think I did say fit, did I? I said a nice big thicket.
You
I
said
thought
big
you
fat
said a
thicket,
fat,
it was the
which
fat.
I thought was great.
Yeah,
just a juicy
just
thicket.
a girthy
Look
thicket.
at that.
Really girthy. long, girthy thicket. It
You
was-
guys are rocking around using terms
Tell me-
like bloody portcullis and carapace, and everyone's got these dictionaries and thesauruses of the fucking medieval world in their mind. I try to get it on the actual thicket, and it's
What
always
if we called it a big,
there's like a big throbbing penis.
Yeah, next time we call it a fat portcullis, you can call us out.
Fat veiny portcullis.
Hey,
We bought back plenty of wood to keep us warm through the night.
Yes, that's quite a fat load of delicious.
some fat wood you got there.
You say delicious.
Fat blood.
of delicious wood. You didn't let me finish my sentence. It was a fat load of delicious wood. There's
I
nothing
don't
wrong
think
with
that makes it
that.
any better.
A druid can appreciate such things. Allow me. I call upon the spirits of fire. Light our house. And it turns
Yeah.
into fire.
From the thicket.
Instantly
Yes.
lights up the room. I assume it's magical.
Those fat
fire.
logs are just. No, it's just
Erupting.
normal fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's really barely staying alive due to the amount of like wind and stuff pushing its way through through the tower. But
God.
it is
How would this
managing.
even work? Is it just going to blow smoke down to fill up the entire tower with smoke?
Well, what we could do, Baron,
Yes.
are you familiar with secondary combustion?
No. Oh, do you mean
Is that a sports
provide
term?
more oxygen?
I don't know what.
It's where you get cool air that gets warmed by the fire, that gets reintroduced to the combustion at the top and eliminates the smoke.
Creating a secondary combustion chamber. I don't.
We do that.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Roll for combustion.
Roll for secondary combustion on your fat load.
Now, American had the idea of speaking to these skeletons, not as a joke, but as in a real thing, like doing the spell "Speak with Dead." Is anyone keen for that?
Yes. I rather think it will be informative, and I also have the parlor trick to contribute tonight. I have a new spell I wish to try out. I think it will be very helpful with those revenants. It is called Commune with Nature.
All right.
It will help us
Great.
locate them if they
Oh,
are
that's-
within, I don't know, 300 feet of radius.
That's handy.
I have
That's
no
pretty
idea
close.
how. What's that in meters?
4 meters.
4 meters? Oh no, wait.
what
Oh,
is-
actually, sorry. I was wrong. It's
120?
better than that. It's 3 miles.
Oh,
Wow.
How many? Yes,
that's much
yes,
better.
yes. I read the wrong bit.
Okay. 3 miles. That would be how many kilometers?
It's 4.8k.
Okay, that's good.
Just to give
So
you,
maybe we can round out the night with that.
I'll give you an idea of sort of how far you've travelled, and because it's roll 20, annoyingly, it's probably going to be in miles. Let's have a quick look here.
I suppose
we
we
got-
probably haven't travelled as far as it would be if we
Actually,
were going across flat land.
Yeah. So, as the crow flies from the base of Solinska Pass, it's only about 3 miles in distance.
Is that right?
Ah.
How does this work?
that's perfect,
Nature
then.
tells you.
I briefly become one with nature, as I am wont to do, and I gain knowledge of our surroundings. I can sense instantly 3 facts of my choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area. I can sense various things, you see. I can sense undead and where they are.
Oh,
Can
So
you
we
know
can
the
pinpoint
specific
them.
undead? Like, will you know the difference between the revenants and, say, Strahd if he's hanging about? Or another
Yeah.
zombie?
that'd be bad too.
I believe I can, yes. Up to 3
Okay.
facts of my choice, after all.
Great.
Let's do that last before we go to bed for the
Could
night.
have done that to find some skeletons. Can you find skeletons?
Potentially no.
I guess only the animated ones, maybe.
Yeah, only if they're already undead, I would think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I can sense terrain and bodies of water, plants, minerals, and such. People, animals, buildings.
Minerals. Okay. Oh, I'm building. Oh, that sounds great.
Yes, it is. Thank you, right.
Very druidy. Now, with the Speak with Dead, we get to ask up to 5 questions. So, if anyone wants to ask a question, let me know. Think of a question for this.
I want to know about the dark ones.
Yes. Anything? Yeah, because we really do need to know about them before stumbling in. Maybe they know there's
Dwells in the Amber Temple.
the dark ones.
Oh, you don't really know that, Toby.
That's the one thing we do know.
We can ask
bias.
We can ask
okay.
what killed them.
Yes, yeah. And maybe we can ask if they know if they know of the dark ones, because maybe that was before, and if they know the strengths and weaknesses of the dark ones.
And we could also ask about those statues. We found gold-plated statues on the roof.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It'd have been worth a few bob, wouldn't they?
I want to offer them up to my god if possible.
What?
They're
that one.
10-foot tall statues. There's plenty of gold covering.
There's some value there.
Those statues.
We'll talk about it.
Was
But
there
it's
any
spending
silver?
money finally.
Did you find any silver?
That would be good,
Would have been
actually.
That would be good.
I did accidentally say silver.
No.
The solid silver.
Okay. Right.
You know what? Overnight, I could get the skeletons to perhaps chip away at them and take all the gold plating off them and collect it while we have a nap.
Yes.
And then we could melt it. We could smelt it down.
Yeah. Using our double combustion chamber.
It does burn hotter, so yeah, potentially.
Smokeless flame. Okay, so should I do the Speak with Dead?
Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
sounds great.
Okay, I cast it. It's a 3rd level necromancy spell. I bust out a cigarette and walk around it. It doesn't. It just doesn't work if this spell has been used on it in the last 10 days. But there's nothing about how old the corpse
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Okay, cool. And is that like a 10-minute long thing, or is that pretty quick?
It lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
But it only takes 1 action to.
In my mind, and I want to throw this past you, it's the one that Casimir is still like puppeteering.
Okay, that makes sense.
So Casimir's still holding on to like the arms of it, and it's kind of leaning up against his chest, and the jaw starts to clatter a little bit, and you know that, and that's the sign that this spell has worked on this skeleton.
Hey, fellows, it's working. See its little mouth moving.
Speak.
Now, be careful when you say things to it. Be careful you don't do a question that you didn't mean to ask, because we only get 5 of them. Like, don't say, how are you doing? Or, "Hey, can you hear me?" or something. Okay, so it knows what it knew in life, but it doesn't have to tell the truth if it thinks that we're an enemy or something like that. And it can't learn any new information. It only knows what it knew when it was alive.
Oh.
So what do we?
You should begin by addressing it like a friend, like, "Hello, friend."
Yes.
You know,
Hello.
get off on the right foot with it.
Hello, friend.
And it does seem to have control of its head, and it's taking all of you in, and it looks like it's trying to say something, and it just clatters its bottom jaw against the top jaw for a bit before just going, "Hello."
Okay. Now,
And Casimir waves his arm as a hello.
This, oh, okay. That's very helpful, Casimir. Thank you.
He's taking the joke a bit far. He wants to fit in.
He's a
Patronizing
method
to a 9th level wizard.
Its answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive. And that's not an insult to you, skeleton. Now, so what are we going to ask it? How did you die?
Yeah, go with that one first.
Okay. How did you die? I don't want to bring up a sore subject.
The skeleton again starts clattering its jaw before saying, the snow maidens on the roof. The snow maidens on the roof.
Snow maidens on the roof. Those statues killed them?
Is that a question?
No, I'm talking to American.
Okay.
Morley and Bill.
Snow Maiden. Maybe he believes in some kind of god of ice. I've been places where they think these things, and he's actually saying he died of, the cold, exhaustion, hypothermia.
Oh, it's a metaphor, you think?
Well,
Or
maybe.
what if those statues on the roof are meant to represent some kind of magical being that haunts this terrain?
Should I
Did
be
they look
literal?
like snow maidens? The statues on the roof.
They look like warrior maidens.
And they were in the snow.
It's snowy.
Ask him what are the snow maidens?
Should I ask him if the snow maidens are the statues, or if they came
Just
to life?
ask him what they are, and
Okay.
that might reveal the answer.
Good boy. Dear skeleton, what are the snow maidens?
They were protecting their treasure.
Fuck! Now there's another. We're not even going to ask our questions about the dark ones. Now we've got treasure.
Now,
Time to wrap it up. Get straight to the gold.
You didn't find anything on that roof that would resemble a treasure, other than maybe the gold-plated statues. But
The giant gold statue.
yeah, but there was nothing else there
Okay.
other than the 4 skeletons
And we
these
investigated.
statues.
And technically, he sidestepped the question a bit because it didn't answer your question of who they are, just
Well,
what they do. So he was being a little cryptic, wasn't he?
Yeah, I said, who are
Just
they?
like-
And they said they were protecting the treasure. It's a non sequitur, skeleton.
Brian,
Sharpen
I have a feeling that we're going round in circles with the cause of death here.
Yeah.
And, as fascinating as the autopsy is, I think we should get to the guts of the matter. And
Okay.
maybe we should go, how would one gain peaceful entry to the Amber Temple? Something like that.
Yes, okay. How about I say, what would be the best way without dying to enter the Amber Temple? The safest way to enter the Amber Temple. How about that?
Without dying like you did, you loser.
Everybody
Trump
didn't even get that
again.
far.
Kind of.
Yes, that's right, though. What is the safest way to get into the Amber Temple?
They want you there. Just go in. And Casimir's making little hand gestures with the words that
Oh.
the statue is saying.
Oh, he's trying so hard.
They want you there, just go in.
Right. It's like this portcullis that fucking opens as you... It's like all the gates in this Barovia. They're supposed to keep you out. They just open up.
And
They're all
again,
automated.
and again, it just repeats. They want you there. They wanted us there too.
You don't make it. You get killed
What?
by snow
Why do they
maidens.
want us there? Ask him why they want us.
Oh, okay. All right. This is our 4th question. Why do they want us there?
To corrupt.
This is what. Does anyone think they're going to get corrupted? guys?
No chance.
No chance.
Pure as the driven snow.
I could get it a little corrupted, maybe. It depends what thing.
What about you, John? Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Oh, Bill, I mean.
I've already beaten my demons once, Baron. Once more is no greater ask.
Can beat it again, you say.
I wouldn't have phrased it like that. But yeah.
When it comes to Morley, he's never not beating it.
Beg your pardon?
This is good. You know what? Seeing how you've not even touched a drop of alcohol this entire time, even though there's been so much of it, I believe you. I would probably be corrupted a bit if I'm not careful.
But it depends what they're offering. Maybe that is a good question to ask.
Oh, what are they offering? Well, they probably tailor it, you know.
What? We know that they made a deal with Strahd, right? They offer eternal life in exchange for something.
Yes.
Well, Brian, do you remember earlier when you said we should ask what the greatest weakness of the Dark Ones are? Maybe that's our final question, if we can get some information on
Yes.
overcoming them. I don't know. I'm just throwing that one into the pot.
Hold on. Don't we just need to work out how to overcome Strahd from them? Wouldn't we want to ask about him?
Well, we could probably ask the Dark Ones, but I just want to know if they turn on us, is there anything that they are weak to, you know, like would allow us to escape or something? Because I think we're going to have to talk to these guys.
Casimir, what do you think? Should we be trying to work out ways to get away or beat the Dark Ones, or?
I'm not really sure what is going to be in store once we get into the Abbot Temple. I don't know if the Dark Ones will appear for us. I don't know if they even appear, per se. And he uses the skeleton's hands to do, like, quote marks.
No. It's growing on me. The bit is growing on me, Casimir, if I'm honest. Quite amusing. But surely they seek to create corrupted bargains with desperate travellers and offer us riches beyond our desires and take our souls in return. Something like that. Something quite metal.
Yeah. Maybe we could become as strong as Strahd.
Oh, I didn't know that was on offer.
Sold!
Let's do it.
I thought it was going to be like a cheap bottle of Blanc or something, which I've said no to 1,000 times.
2 jackets.
Oh!
I'll kill my crewmen.
Okay, so what's the final question? I do like the idea of asking if there is some kind of weakness that we can exploit, just in case.
It'll be like in a job interview. Oh, my greatest weakness is I work too hard.
I'm too dark. Too much of a dark
I feel
side.
like they may not know. That is the risk. I feel... I mean, these Dark Ones are gods of some kind, are they not?
Are they? They're demigods.
I don't know.
Semi-god. Semi-god? Well, okay. Unless someone's got a better idea for a question, I'm going to go with that weakness one. Anyone? Any takers?
Do the Dark Ones send the Snow Maidens?
Well,
I don't know if that's a good enough question, honestly.
they probably,
Ask
even
them
if
the
they
weakness
do,
thing.
they're still going to send one.
Yeah. Ask
Okay.
about the weakness.
What about you, Bill? Any last requests? Pigs again.
I think that's a good one. I'd rather learn about Strahd, but we're about to face these Dark Ones, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, we're about to possibly talk with the Dark Ones as well, hopefully. Make a bargain. No. Okay, dead friend. What is a...
Could you preface it with, in as much detail as possible?
Oh, yeah. As much detail as possible. Could you please explain what weaknesses the Dark Ones might have that we could exploit, if necessary.
The Dark Ones are too powerful. They are godlike. We never learned any weakness. We wanted the corruption.
Oh, he was quite forthcoming there. He gave a little bit more, didn't he? A bit more than the
Yeah.
DM was happy with.
Oh, okay.
So they have no weakness that he knew of.
That he
They're
I
godlike.
think that was quite a value for the fifth question. He gave us quite a lot there.
Because to be honest, I don't think we could stand much of a chance against a god.
Now, I
Don't
Godlike.
believe.
I also just want to preface that character doesn't know what I know. It only knows what it knows.
I
right?
get it.
And
But
they
the-
can lie.
And they can lie. So
Yeah.
he's just giving you some info.
But just saying, let's just assume that these are actual god level beings that have given Strahd this power. I think at most we can go and speak with them. I don't think we're going to go and twist their arms or something, right?
Yeah, they're supposed. If they gave Strahd his power, surely they can. They must be, far beyond what he is.
Yeah.
Or it could be that Strahd took it to a whole new level. Do you know what I mean? Like he used the powers he was given for evil, and therefore it made it much worse. I don't know.
Yeah, or maybe they unlocked something. Yeah, maybe they can't do it themselves. They just put it on other beings or something. But I guess we're going to have to find out. There's no weaknesses that we know of. Okay.
That was an amazing show, Brian.
Yes, and thank you, Casimir.
Round of applause for the Baron.
Casimir does like a bow using the skeleton. He like puppeteers the skeleton to a little bow.
I'm just going to say rest in peace for about 10 minutes, and then we'll get you going. Smoko, rest,
Well,
undo Smoko.
theoretically, you could just go to the next corpse, right?
Yes, that's right.
How many spell slots do you have?
Well, I'm going to need some to resurrect these. But,
Oh, aren't we about to get a long rest?
You are about to get
Hopefully.
a long rest.
Well, we're
We're
going to try
about to
for one.
attempt one.
You'll attempt one.
Yeah.
But I think
Just,
we've got
just
plenty
smash all the spell slots. Just fucking start levitating shit. I'll bloody phantasmal force my way out.
Yeah, just for fun, just to let off some steam.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of spells, American, how about yours? Bust that out. See if they're within
Yes,
3 or 4 miles.
indeed. I'm going to. What am I going to do? I just start communing with nature, whatever that means. I think I'm going to go outside and place my hands upon the snowy ground and begin chanting as I become one with nature. I'm going to put the spell in the chat. So I am going to see if I can sense within 3 miles powerful undead.
It says 300
And where
feet.
they are. No, in caves and
Oh,
other
sorry,
natural underground
sorry.
setting. That's where I tripped up. I saw that
3
and thought,
miles,
no,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
limiting it. But normally it's 3 miles.
Um,
So I can gain knowledge up to 3 facts of my choice. So my first fact I want to learn is, where are the revenants? Are they within 3 miles?
yeah, there's you close your eyes and sort of concentrate on the snow and the wind whistling past, and you hear within the wind whispers of the location of 2 revenants making their way up the snowy, windy cliffside of Solenska Pass. So they are still quite a way away. There is a bit of trouble. They seem to be moving much slower than you lot were up this pass.
How far away are they?
They're still almost at the maybe probably 4 to 5 hours travel up the pass at the moment.
Oh, well, they will reach us by morning at this rate. I'm going to relay that to my companions that they seem to be about 5 hours away. Just
5
too
hours?
close.
No, so
Too close.
Sorry, they're 4 to 5 hours up the pass. So they've taken a lot longer to get up there. You guys travel for like 10 hours up Solenska Pass to get to this point. So if they're about what would be the equivalent of almost halfway, but they've taken so much longer to get there than the amount of time it's taken for you.
Okay.
I'm going to
So maybe if we get
triangulate them.
If we get an early night's sleep, maybe we could leave early in the morning and, avoid them.
Okay.
You get 2 more, is it?
Yes. So I should probably see if I can sense. I mean, what
about
kind of thing
fiends?
would the dark ones be? Would they be fiends? That's what I was thinking.
Are they fiends?
Or they
Do
could
we
be
know
undead
about
or
these-
celestials.
Yeah, do we know about celestials and fiends and elementals?
I don't know much about Celestials myself, to be honest. What are they? Would that be something a necromancer knows about, or?
Yeah.
I know like fiends and stuff. You would. I'd maybe give me a intelligence roll or what roll should we get out of you for that one?
Out of me to know if I know what fiends are, or
Yeah, I'm just having a.
would that be Arcana?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Ooh.
Let's go with that.
Can I do an arcana? I know what a fiend
Yeah.
is. You know.
I rolled a
Yeah.
16 plus 3 for 19.
So, what do you want to know specifically about fiends?
I'm wanting to know if. What do I want to know? This is kind of vague because just facts of your choice. What does that mean? I mean, how powerful does the. Are there any powerful fiends and how powerful are they? Is that a good enough question, guys?
Yeah, like maybe a giant demon is a fiend. I don't know. I want to know like.
Yeah.
I need to get something specific that I don't have to like scour D&D Beyond for, I guess.
I want to know if there are powerful fiends in the area.
Okay, well I need to have a
And
look
how
at
many?
a list of fiends, I guess,
Oh,
to see if there are. Otherwise, I'm not 100% sure. Is there a list of fiends somewhere?
Well,
It should be.
under dark ones, it'll say like fiends.
yeah.
Evil
Look under
fiends.
dark ones and see if it's.
No, but that's not what you're asking. You're not asking are the dark ones fiends. You're saying are there
Yeah, I
powerful
know.
fiends in the area?
Yeah.
So if they are fiends, they'll blip.
But there are maybe other
Yeah.
creatures that are fiends as well.
Yeah.
So I need to get a list
Yeah.
of what like.
There are other powerful fiends. in
I've
the
broken
area.
the game. Oh well, while you're looking that up, we can come up with.
Here we go.
third
Here we go.
question.
Just have a look. I've got a list of. Oh, it's huge. Okay.
Dark one.
It's basically demons. Fiends are demons.
That's what I
Right.
wanted to know, right? So they're like demons.
Because they do seem like demons. Yeah.
Because you know, guys, I have a spell called Protection from Evil and Good that I haven't used, and I can get one willing creature and protect them against certain types of creatures like aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Touch them, and they get several benefits. Creatures of those type have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, it has advantage on any saving throws against the relevant effect.
Oh, that's good. Is that a concentration spell?
Yes. So it's like
Do you know, I just thought of a third question.
what?
I've had a premonition about a giant bird snatching up poor little Belle.
That's right.
To know more about this bird.
I'm trying to find like some. Here we go. What's this? I
Are
think
there
this
giant
might be.
birds in the area?
Okay. I have an answer for you. So could you just repeat the question one more time? Are there any fiends in the area? Is that the question?
Yeah, I want to locate fiends in the area.
Like, so are you wanting to know how many? What are you wanting to know? What are the
Hot,
details?
hot single fiends in our area.
Yeah. 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 Where are they? Locate fiends. I don't know. Is that a good enough question?
Okay, man, that's a very broad question, so I'll just answer
is
it
it
as
too
vaguely as I
broad?
can then.
Well,
Okay.
you can locate for example, you can determine the location of powerful undead in the area, but just
Yeah,
replace
so-
that with fiends.
Yeah, that exactly.
Okay,
That's
you
what
want
I'm
to know the
trying to
location
say.
of powerful fiends.
Yes,
In the
that's what I
there's-
was trying to say, but
on the-
failing.
On the wind again, you get whispers of off to the east, which is the direction you've been heading. There's just it's not a hugely powerful sense that you're getting from it, but just there is this there is like a vague. There is a fiend off to the east. It is not large. It is not overly powerful, but there is one there.
Oh. I've located a small fiend.
A small fiend? I
small-
thought you were after a
just
big
a-
fiend.
Just a little one. Just a little baby one. Well, they must not be fiends then.
Oh, we should murder the fiend.
Goes without saying.
I'm going to write down small fiend.
To the east,
Small
was it?
fiend.
See, I'm just trying to make sure that I have covered the correct terminology for the creatures that I know of. So, as far as I'm aware,
This is
there
very
is
mysterious.
one fiend that you are picking up on.
You know, I feel like I've been too hard on psychics now. Like, they don't have a lot to work with. Like, I've been too hard on them.
Yeah.
Okay, our third question is...
Could you ask for something about a place of safety at the Amber Temple? I don't know.
That might be a bit vague.
A bit vague. Yes, it is a bit vague, isn't it?
Sort of
It's,
looking
I have
for
to, it's
objects
knowledge of the land. Knowledge of the land, Molly.
and things in it.
And buildings.
It does say
But more
buildings,
like
right?
more like if they're there, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't actually work if you're in a place of construction, such as dungeons and towns, so well.
It's more like I sense the nature and I go, ooh, there's a building blocking the beautiful nature in that
right,
spot.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Ooh.
no, forget
Oh.
it.
Let's just find drinking water. And...
I was wondering what's at the very top of what's on the crest of the mountain, but it's the Amber Temple again. Already know that.
Why are we even here, honestly? Okay, shall we just leave?
Ask that.
I want to know, can I ask... Okay. Can I please locate the nest of a giant bird? I want to know where it lives.
Okay, that's a good question. Yes, you can if it's within that.
Ooh, 3
distance.
miles.
Let's have a quick look.
Imagine the eggs.
Delicious.
Yeah, there is upon again off to the east, slightly more east than the other, more directly east than the previous fiend that you were looking for. But you were getting the whispers and almost painting this picture in the wind in your mind of this enormous nest above a steep mountaintop off to the east. Snow whipping around it, and you're picturing this enormous bird with its wings outstretched.
My, so
You
it was
can-
not maybe a premonition after all, it was real.
And in the wind, you could almost hear like the haunting, like death cry of like cattle.
Oh!
Oh, it feeds off cattle and Bill. Are there any baby birds in the nest? Are there baby birds in the nest?
And
We
the-
can befriend one!
Yeah. Could raise one and have it on your arm until it gets too big.
I can have it on
You're
my shoulder.
its arm. on your shoulder.
not a pirate.
Giant rock.
Okay, well, those were kind of freebies, so I'm quite pleased with this commune with nature.
Yeah.
Knowing where the undead are and knowing that we can sleep without them getting to us is paramount.
Invaluable.
Invaluable, Brian! I think we've had a very productive spell casting night. Shall we retire?
No, we've never actually done good spells like this before.
It's
This is
true.
good. This is good.
I want to go.
You do one.
Do fireball.
I burn the place to the ground, rolling around each other.
They all die.
So are we calling it a night?
Before I make my comfortable, dry, refreshing hut, I want to raise these dead. So I've got
Right.
5 to raise and 2 to reassert.
Okay, cool. We'll have to make sure we drop some more tokens in there for you.
Okay.
If we have time before we retire, we should discuss how we're going to deal with these revenants if we have a plan. Because this tower is located on the side of a cliff, right? And we're just thinking we just finesse them off the edge, call it a day if possible.
Yes, if we could push them off, that would be good.
That would be great.
Maybe if we could set a trap on our way tomorrow morning, springs. If they stand on it, they get flung off the side of the mountain.
So, yeah. Booby trap. Okay, how about this? They're after me, right? Who are they after? One of them is definitely after me.
Not me.
Who are they after? Is it Bill and me?
Yeah,
I'm trying to
you
remember.
and you
Yes.
and I. One each.
What if Bill and I can lure them? We can stand on the edge of the cliff. And then at the last minute, when they come charging, we hoodwink them somehow.
What about if we get the skeletons to build up some ice or some snow over here, looking like they can go around the thing, but just gives way.
Oh. So it looks like it's a path.
That would
Yeah.
be. I just need you to know that is a very, very treacherous. Every maybe 2 feet it drops about 10 feet. There would have to be some amazing rolls from the skeletons for them not to just topple
Okay.
and be
Hang on
lost.
a minute.
I have an idea.
Wait a second. The green gate will keep them out. Like the whole reason that we couldn't get through here.
But we
That's
climbed over.
true.
They can't pass.
I hope
That's
so.
true.
Well, they're fucked.
Should we
I think
just-
we can wash our hands of the whole situation.
They're going to walk into the gate
Solid.
like I thought they would.
Good
So
point.
you think just leave them?
Maybe they'll just stand at the gate waving their fists in anger.
Yeah. I'll get you next time.
I'm still going to prepare some spells just to be careful. I can imagine gusting them off the edge with a strong blast of icy air to their doom.
That would be good.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Or
I'm going to-
thunderclap.
Yes.
Okay, so the Baron gets to using his spells to bring the 5 skeletal bodies to life and restating the control over the 2 that have been helping with the wood. Are there any other things that anyone else wants to do before calling it a night?
Is there any way I can communicate with? Oh my god, Irina.
She's not here at least.
You tell me. Have you got anything that could be utilized? Cell
I
phone?
don't think so. No,
Some kind of tin can based.
no.
Morley picks up a
and
small
message.
tin can with a string hanging out of it.
Message
Sorry,
doesn't work,
Molly.
right?
Message won't reach far enough.
Okay.
Why don't you
I
write
I
her
do
a
have
nice letter?
something. I
Write
could
her a
prepare
letter and give
something.
it to her next time.
I could prepare something rather adorable, to be honest. I do have a spell called Animal Messenger, and it's pretty cute.
Oh,
You can send it, and guess what? Let's say I send an itty bitty squirrel. It will run up to Irina, open its mouth, and your voice will come out.
That's horrific.
Jesus, that'll freak her out. She'll shit herself.
I think
Can't
it's
be doing that.
I
Again.
think it's a wonderful spell. How dare you, Morley?
No.
Well, I guess I
you're
won't
right.
do it then.
No, I'd love that.
Never
Is that- I'd
mind.
love that.
Irina
Is
would
there
never
any-
want to hear from such a man.
Is there any? Can she reply, or is it just the squirrel
Just
speaking?
open the squirrel's mouth and talk into it to put her message in.
I hope it's the mouth.
She'll pick it up like a telephone. Hello.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
I like that.
I choose a tiny beast. The only catch is that it has to make it there, which is quite a feat for a tiny beast.
And there has to be a tiny beast. You don't summon one. You have to see one in the area.
Yes, I have to find one.
There's
Well,
loads
that's a little bit
of
more
mice
difficult.
and snow rabbits and stuff out here. We'll be able to find. I'll get out there and find one.
Well, now I feel like I'm making the animal do too much work. That's a little bit mean.
Oh no! Come on, it'll be great.
So if I
I'll
could
go-
I could get some kind of alpine bird, and as long as it can make it to her a bit 50 miles per 24 hours, that's how long it'll
Send her the big murder
take.
bird
It's
that
very
eats cattle.
complex.
That's if it's a bird. If it's
I don't think it's a tiny beast. I don't think.
I'll go
Like-
outside and look for like a snow mouse. You know those mice that are always in the snow, like a vole.
Yeah, go find a vole.
Can I just spend 5 minutes looking for a vole, please?
I don't know.
Dungeon
I think this will
We have to
happen
do it in the morning.
I think.
Because I
Alright.
have to prepare. I don't have it. I've never
you
done
go
this before. It's
outside,
very convoluted as per usual with D&D.
It's not that. It's
Sorry.
like you find an animal, you give it a message. It takes time to get to and deliver the message.
And you get 25 words that'll be like, "Hey Irina, Morley here. Hope you're all good. We're up a mountain. Don't know why we're here." And that'll be the message.
I don't know.
Message
why.
about the 25.
Pretty good
words.
use of a spell slot.
As long as a tweet. But from an actual bird.
A tweet from a bird.
The first
Sounds like
20,
Morley.
the first 20 words being, I haven't actually been turned into a squirrel. This is just a spell that Murican has done.
I don't know. It's like the more we talk about it, the less useful the spell seems.
I tell you what, if
Which
you
again
do-
is part of the course with D&D.
if you do it, I won't make it shit. I promise. There, how's that? As a-
promise.
Oh,
that's a promise. Anyway, is there anything else you
Never
guys
had
are going to
that
be
promise
doing
before.
before calling it a night, just so we can speed forward to see what
Okay,
happens?
yes,
next?
apologies. I am going to make my hut. Anyone who wants to be in the hut, get in the hut while I'm making it
Where are you making it? Within
how
the
many-
tower?
within the tower.
Yeah,
yes.
cool.
second floor, please.
Second floor? Okay.
Can
let's go
you
upstairs.
can you make it go a bit out? Like does it squeeze? Does it need to squeeze around physical objects, or can it just
No,
go through?
it can't be obstructed by an object like a wall or something. So I think it should fit in here though. Just
Okay.
I'm just wondering if we,
yeah.
if it's safe and dry, like it's safe and comfortable in there,
hmm
and the revenants do show up,
Mhm.
and we're in here, we'll be trapped when it pops.
Yeah, but we'll also be trapped in here if they come in.
Yeah. That's on. That's
And
what
there
I'm
is no
saying.
hut.
Maybe we could make that outside.
Oh, make this whole thing outside.
Yeah, like if you open the door,
Yeah. Okay.
you could just bubble it out around, or just actually be outside for it.
I figured that they would be trying to get in the door and stuff, so you can get out of the hut if you needed to attack them or whatever. I imagine we'd just jump out the second story if
Okay,
needed.
sounds
No?
good.
I
Yeah.
have a little faith in
Oh,
my
yes.
actual spell. Bill, I used the spell slot on that. They're not going to come to us in the night. I triangulated the bitches, okay?
And I'm just being safe by saying,
And so Murican, did
go
you
on
want
the
it on the second floor, or what? Did you
Oh, I
want?
don't care where it goes. I've had enough of this fart hut.
you stay out of the fart hut.
All right.
No, I'm saying in.
Well, I think it's probably best for everyone to be in it when it first gets created, anyway, right? That's kind of
They
yeah.
have to be. And I guess some of the skeletons, it can have 9 people. So how many of us are there?
So 3 of the skeletons will have to be outside of it.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's fine. They can hide.
They can be upstairs.
Yeah, I can read a book or something.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, is it possible for me to start learning a spell Counterspell.
Yeah. So what's the deal with learning a spell? First, I just want to say the moment the hut appears, it is so comfortable. There is no wind whistling through now. Everything is like the perfect temperature to the point where if you wanted to remove some of that warm weather gear, you'd be totally more than comfortable with it on or off. It's magical. You could be, it's fine. So
It's not getting hot in here.
it's not getting hot. There's no farts.
Don't need to take off all your clothes.
Yeah, any farts just dissipate straight away before they hit your senses. It's amazing. It's
That's
magical.
what I need for the dining room.
So yeah, you're all
I'll look
now,
up the thing.
You're now all within the bubble. Yeah, how much time do you need to learn and write a spell across?
For each level of the spell, it takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold pieces.
Yeah. Have you got
what's
50 gold?
counterspell?
Uh,
What level is counterspell?
in Casimir's book. Let's have a quick look here. Let's just put that. What am I doing?
Third level.
Yeah,
So can I just do an hour? I mean, a level.
what do you mean? Like it's third level spell, right?
Yeah. So, but I won't try and learn the whole thing at once. So I'm just copying it into my book. So,
Right. So
so can I do 2 hours and still get a long rest day? It's like my lookout, but I'm not actually doing a lookout.
yeah, totally happy with
great.
that to happen.
It's me.
So what is it? So is it 2 hours for every level? Is it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you get.
And 50 gold pieces for each level.
Have you got the money?
Well, I'm going to go get those. Should I get those guys to scrape off gold, or
Yes.
do you think it will activate snow maidens and kill us?
I don't think we
Possibly.
should do it because he said
Okay.
he said that it was when they tried to get their treasure, which I think is their gold.
Yeah, I was worried this.
Can't you detect magic on them or something? Surely that you would be able to sense something like that if
I'll
it
do it
was a
first thing in
living
the morning.
being.
Maybe I won't worry about this spell thing right now. Then it's going to take too long.
Why don't you
But,
do a test patch, like when you clean the carpet or something? You could
Well,
just get one of them up
American
there with a dagger, just get a couple of square inches off. If nothing happens, go for gold, quite literally.
True. I mean, we are safe inside this bubble.
How much gold do you need?
150.
Can we pass a head around maybe?
Has anyone got any gold?
Whip around.
Oh.
So forget it. We're going to go Amber Temple to get.
But
to.
you've got 50 gold pieces, right? So have you got that?
Do I?
Do you? I'm not tracking your guys' money. Good God.
I have 10 gold, which I'll happily donate. But
Thank
it's
you.
not very much.
Let's figure this out later. I didn't think about how much gold we have.
Okay.
I have no idea how much gold I have.
It's
We have
good that
none.
you guys have all been tracking. This is perfect.
I've got
Well,
24 gold.
this is the problem with D&D. I have enough stress tracking my money in real life. Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I have a bag of flour.
Okay, that's about the half a gold
4
piece. I
years
don't know
old.
how that goes.
I've got here that I've got 29 gold pieces and 6 electrum. Don't know where that came from. But
How much gold?
29.
I think together you've got more than 50 then. So Morley said he's got 24 or something, and Bill's got
He
10.
needs 150 though.
Well, he needs 50 for tonight.
What? Yeah, I'll pay you back anyway. And tomorrow morning we can try scraping something, and if it doesn't work, I'll get the skeletons to scrape it in the morning. If it gets attacked and killed,
Okay.
we run.
So we each give him 10 gold pieces or something, right?
Yeah, I'll give him 10.
I
done.
appreciate it.
I'm not
Done.
giving him the
That's
full
not gonna be
24. I'm
enough.
not giving him all my money.
Have you thought about like a monthly donation, the subscription?
I mean, I'd like to
There- there
subscribe
is a
to Brian
service.
keeping us all alive.
You managed to scrape
Wizards
together.
Without Sans Borders.
You managed to scrape together 50 gold pieces. You have 2 hours amongst the long night to rest and scribe in that first level of the thing. And the rest of you have, you all fall asleep with taking turns taking guard. And before too long, morning shows up.
Row.
No revenants have broken the sleep. There is now a little more light coming in through the windows, and you all slowly wake up. It's great. It's beautiful. Merkin, you just rolled a dice. Is that?
I rolled to see which season I'm in. Let me see. I've rolled a 4, which is no. Feeling spicy. I'm fired up.
Okay. This is a good time to take a break. Let's take our break now.
Short one though. Who's keeping the timer?
Yeah,
Otherwise, we'll never get this fucking temple.
That would be me.
I have to admit, I thought you'd be at the temple by now.
Me too.
What, you never learn?
We're never going to get to the temple.
I know.
Why are we?
I also feel like as I role play, my seasons become less and less distinct.
So what season did you roll?
Summer. It's like,
right.
I don't like that one.
Isn't that such a metaphor for how the world is changing with climate change?
Oh my gosh, that is so true.
Yeah.
Too much of a good thing only destroys. Exactly.
Whoa, yeah.
Let's move forward through the break. We've got a
Get the
question.
Pink Floyd on.
We've got the question of the week from Larp Kiwi, who said, "What could your character be offered that would make them turn against the rest of the party?"
Oh, that's a fantastic question.
That is a great question.
Oh, this one is an easy one for me, but
This is a good one for the DM to write notes down. So don't say anything that will actually.
I promise I
Reagan
won't
already
write
has
notes
the
down.
keys.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know if I should say as much. I don't know if it'll ever come up, but it has kind of like tangentially come up that American has some kind of issue with people coming back from the dead.
You can be
Whenever it
brief about it if
occurs,
you like.
whenever anyone alludes to bringing someone back who's no longer with them, she freaks out.
It happens every day, literally every day, American.
With you, but like it happened in the last campaign where like the elf guy, what's his name, Duran, got duped by that and she freaked out, and it happened at in this campaign with the sun, and she freaked out. So it's like there's clearly someone she would want back from the dead, and that would like be the thing that would make her snap for sure.
Oh. Okay, we're screwed.
What about
Oh yeah,
you?
I'm planning to kill all of you.
What about you, Baron?
I don't know, maybe world peace.
Turn on
only thing-
everyone.
That's the
for
only
world
thing.
peace.
You can't really turn on people if there's world peace. It would no longer be
Really the
peace.
answer.
Well, I mean,
Genius.
like, what do they say? The good of the many outweighs the good of the few.
Yeah,
Spock
like
says.
peace forever if you just kill everyone around you right now.
Like wipe out the party, and then you will get world peace.
Yeah, and I'll bring them back anyway. American wouldn't mind.
Shit, that would be your worst nightmare.
Yeah, okay.
Have we verified that this question's actually in the chat? Because we're about to go see the dark ones.
It's
It's such a
100% in
good
the
question, though.
chat. What about Bill?
That's really tough. I don't think there is anything.
A really big diamond.
No, you have to have
Nothing
something.
He's completely infallible. Nothing could sway him to turn on the party.
It's not to say that he would, but what would be the thing if there was a thing?
What's in your features and
If there
traits?
was anything, it would be what's in my features and traits.
Or what is your description? You have to put like a flaw. I have a habit of accruing massive debts. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, let's go. Like, who even is my
just
character? I need to look
gold.
this up. Imagine asking someone and be like, "Let me just check my character sheet. I don't actually know what my character's personality is."
He's written the first level, and he's like, you know what? I don't want that one anymore. It's just 50 gold gone.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, you're probably not going to get back.
Oh, I'll get it back.
So what's in Bill's flaws?
So my flaws are: I had a truly scandalous secret that could ruin myself forever, and we revealed that in the first thing.
We just got that out of the way.
got it done.
It didn't ruin him forever.
No,
That's
no.
all right.
Perfect now. And then the second one is I can't resist a pretty face, which I don't actually. This is a good question because I didn't remember that was my one. So I guess a pretty face.
So
I guess
clearly
you
Irina's
don't
not
think
pretty.
Irina's pretty then. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you don't think Americans are pretty then. Okay. Wow. Maybe that's going to be the thing that's going to make me turn on everyone. Finding out everyone's been like calling me ugly behind my back this whole time.
Everyone fancies Irina.
Everyone's like rating Irina out of 10, like obvious 10, American 2.
This is
All right, you're all
what about
dead.
me? What about me? Oh, look, yeah, definitely a 10, sure, as well, sure.
But then I use divination to find out what they really rated me, and then I kill them all in their sleep.
It's a 4.5.
No! Mediocrity. I call upon the spirits of nature.
So
This is like Snow White, the evil queen. You know.
Oh
the
yeah,
queen.
the evil queen.
I was gonna say the only other thing that it's not on my flaws, but to be world famous would be
okay.
another thing that would be of value.
Interesting, because that's actually my real life thing that would make me turn on all of you easily.
So
I'm actually playing Adam.
What about
selling
Morley?
your soul for fame.
Some Febreze.
I don't.
Because Morley's known the group far less time than the group's known each other.
Yeah.
Morley, you've only known
So-
these guys for like 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah. So pretty much anything.
Basically, just getting
so
back
my-
15 gold pieces would probably do it.
Obviously, I think at this stage, like as you mentioned, haven't really been with this group that long, but have formed a really, really intense bond from the things we've been through. But my major flaw is obviously my alcoholism. So if I relapse, then I think all bets are off. I have a tragedy in my past that if that could somehow be undone magically, and we've spoken about this tragedy, which will come up in the origin story, if that idea ever takes flight again.
I hope so. I hope it does.
So if that tragic kind of background could be the slate wiped clean, almost like an alternate future, then I would struggle to turn that down for this group that I haven't known that long.
That's a good one.
I'm just going to go and get an LMP.
Very good.
I will say...
And that's our latest sponsor for the stream. Thanks, LMP.
Thank you, Alan P. I'll say thank you to Urza Planeswalker for giving us a follow. Also, Hoju the Elder has resubscribed as well for their 8th month. Thank you. It's a nice, good use of your Prime subscription. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it costs Amazon. I love it. You get them to... If you've got a Prime thing, use it on Twitch creators, because it only costs Amazon. It doesn't cost you. Take and use their money. I love it. Take that, Bezos. Luna Diggory as well has given us a follow, which is awesome. Thank you so much. And there's been some bits that have been shared as we go along. How is the... Oh my god, have we actually... I think we've flicked over Needle yet again as well. So I don't...
Ooh.
Because again, we had like 7 subscriptions take place yesterday. We've had like 2 more today. We've had a bunch of bits done. So what I'm going to do, because I think it only makes sense, is we're going to turn off the ticker, turn off the counter until I actually do it. I don't want to have them too close to each other. So we've got one in the bag, and then we'll restart the counter once we trigger that one. Okay, we've already delayed.
Is there a way? Is there a way to combine them?
Combine
So
them.
like have if 2 needles get triggered and then he turns up and you get 2 worth of needles showing up in one event.
You can, but it dilutes it a little bit if every session we have like a needle. So I'm just gonna.
No, but I'm saying like he turns up once, but you get 2 spins or something.
Yeah, it just depends on how often the tracker gets down to 0. So I can't really control that, and I like to. People get excited to see it happen when it gets triggered. So, so I just need to figure it out. So we're going to hold on to this one, and we're not going to start counting for the next one for a little while longer. But I will thank our Patreons before we kick off again. George Friend, QSD, Drop Shadow, Waffles, Carlzone, Squished, Sador, The Foolish Fool, Andrew, Mitchell Moore, and our very own Adam, John, and Joe. Thank you so much for being part of our Patreon. I would read out our subscribers, but it's literally sitting at I don't know, like 30 something names at this point.
Whoa.
Which is just honestly, I didn't ever expect it to get that high. So I'm absolutely blown away by that sort of support. You guys are amazing. I love that you guys are always here to watch us each Monday. We're not all of you because we don't have 33 viewers right now, but we do.
Can resist a little dig there.
But you guys are all awesome for doing that and supporting us. And then the other ones that are on both sides, Patreon and subscription through Twitch, the VIP dices, you guys are fantastic. You elite dices are so good. And I see people have been unlocking some cards as well. Jump into that.
Oh.
Get those cards unlocked. See if you can get the legendary versions, the foil versions. Yeah. Okay. I reckon we can. Oh, someone cracked the LNP.
I'm trying to figure it.
Amazing.
Ruined it. That's better.
Oh yeah, nice.
All summer long. Summer edition.
Nice.
Corporate shell.
So we've probably been less than 15 minutes.
The fucking slogan. Whenever I drive past the LMP bottle, I have to get a photo with it. Or actually, I take photos of someone else because I don't want to be in a photo.
You're like Mel Gibson from Conspiracy Theory when he always has to buy Catcher in the Rye.
Yes. Except it's like a
Great movie. Current movie of the day that we all know and love. But
Never heard of
I
it.
enjoy it.
Never heard of it. I'm sure it's good. Was this pre or post him and his?
Pre.
Okay.
Pre. I know what you're going to say.
Hey, have you not heard of Conspiracy Theory? You haven't, I saw.
No, I haven't.
That's a good movie. And what's the actress with the big mouth?
Julia Roberts.
Yes.
Jesus. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, you said her name.
I said because I know who's fucking in the movie.
With a big mouth.
Really wide mouth. I mean,
It is.
No, you've made it much worse. You could have flown under. Oh yeah, she's always gossiping around Hollywood.
No.
Choose not to avoid.
You can talk as much as you want. I have nothing to do. I don't care about that. I'm just saying, it's a wide mouth.
I agree, though. I would have known exactly who you meant by that description. It's the only one I'd know.
Awful man.
Awful. Disgusting.
Should we jump back into it?
Anything.
My first, I have.
By the way, great use of Talk with Dead, Speak with Dead, and great use of your Commune with Nature. Like, those were some great spell usage that I was not expecting, so I had to think pretty quickly there. So, awesome. And I hope...
I can't believe we found a small fiend.
And I can only hope that that it felt like you got some good info out of that.
Yeah,
because that's what we really wanting. We want some intel on this fucking place before we go in. And apparently, one of us is going to die, most likely. So.
Yeah. My first thought when you were like, you want to speak with Dead with a character that didn't even get to the Amber Temple was what information would he have about the Amber Temple? So it was good. It was a good little test for me.
Sorry, where's this? One of us is going to die. Where's that come from? Is that a Madame Ava thing?
No, that was just the chat.
Which is more reliable than Madame Ava in my experience.
Madame Ava hasn't set you wrong yet, has she?
No, but she speaks in riddles.
Big
the
mouth,
chat
always
is
talking.
Explicit. Yeah, wide mouth.
Yeah, wide.
weird lips.
Those are my lips. Okay, let's.
All right.
All right, let's get back
Pretty
into
woman.
it.
Should I actually prepare that spell? Because I don't feel like we have anything of value to actually say to Irina quite yet. So I'm a bit like, actually, like we can use it at some point, but do we need it today?
It was more just to enhance the story, a bit of world building. But if that's not important, then that's
No,
fine.
I hate that shit.
It'd just be some like lovey-dovey.
Yeah, I liked
Trying to
it.
get into a good book.
Joe's like, yeah, but it's a spell slot.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, eh? And
I
also,
don't
you know how
use it.
long things take for us? That's the whole rest of the session right there if we use
That's
that
right.
spell. I'm just saying.
Speaking
It'll
of
be like,
which,
It'll be like when England go to the World Cup and they say they'll be home before the postcards.
what's England?
Ah,
Is that
yep.
sports?
Everyone loves that.
Right.
Anyway,
NZ
yeah.
Waffles just wanted to say a friendly reminder that you're awesome, amazing, beautiful people. So thank you, Waffles. You're
Oh, that's
fantastic.
very kind.
One of our elite dices as well. So,
Ooh.
that's great. Thank you.
So
All right,
it
let's-
means something.
something. It
Thank
means
you.
something. It
I
does.
only respect the compliments of those who give
not-
us money.
If anybody else compliments me, they can fuck off.
Oh, that made my screen go blank.
Okay. It was powerful.
Yes.
All right, let's get you guys back.
Okay, we arrive at the Amber Temple.
You guys have to leave the fucking tower
We
first.
didn't. No.
Turn off these footsteps in the snow. It's a little scary. We're back. We're back. We're back in the tower. It is morning. You're woken by the bursting of the Learman's tiny hut as the wind whips back through you in a very unwelcoming means. But you're all feeling
Good
very
morning.
refreshed. You've got all your HP back. Your spell
Quickly
slots
put my
are-
clothes back on.
your spell slots have been rejuvenated. You're all feeling great. Cold, but great.
Yes. Well,
Oh, I can't help but feel a sense of foreboding is ahead of us.
yes. And I dreamed not tonight, on this night. But however, I have something almost as good. And I'll take it. And don't waste them.
Can I
I'm gonna-
interrupt for a minute, Joe? You dreamed one thing. Your
Oh,
night,
I
your night
I
was
slipped my mind.
your sleep was very deep. And the only memory of any dream that you had was the spinning of Needle's wheel, with the words coming more into clarity, but not full clarity. But that's all you can really remember from your dream.
Dreams of the cat men. Anyway, I've made these for you. Take them and do not waste them. And I'm going to roughly place a good berry in each person's palm.
Oh, thank you, American.
Well, I haven't seen one of these.
So
in
how
a
many-
long time.
So, I know, I haven't made them for so long. So I made 10.
Okay.
They restore 1 hit point, but they also sustain you for a whole day. So I figured we probably didn't bring that much food, so we should probably have them on hand as well for that.
So we having
Brilliant.
good berries for
So I'll
breakfast?
give
Casimir's-
good berry. Do not
Casimir's like-
waste them, I swear.
Casimir's already like halfway through his.
You don't go halfway through. Good berry, kissing his slowly nibbling on his berry.
He can put the whole thing in his tiny, tiny mouth.
I imagined like
Reverse
for
Julia
some
Roberts.
reason I was like a big fat like juicy like
Oh, do you think of
Ooh,
a
that
giant
sounds
berry?
good.
I think of
plum-sized
them as
berry.
like a blueberry.
Yeah, I think of them like a blueberry too.
I think of them like a raspberry.
I think
How-
because they're
yeah.
so
Small.
nourishing, like massive, like very.
This is why we
Like you
never
have to
get
eat it
to
like a
Amber
whole
Temples.
apple.
This is why we don't get anywhere. He finishes the blue, the good berry. It's done with it, and he's feeling very nourished.
Good.
Were you saying how many good berries could Julia Roberts fit in her mouth at once? Is that what you said, Adam?
No, I said Casimir is like a reverse Julia Roberts. Like a...
Okay, so everyone gets 2. So maybe eat one for the day's food, but keep one on hand. I swear, 1 hit point can be the difference between life and death.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Watching
With
you.
there. So, because we can feed this to someone if they're dying.
Yeah. That's why it's small. You wouldn't like put a whole apple in someone's mouth while they're dying.
You wouldn't,
munch it up with the man.
Be so uncouth.
unless they're Julia Roberts. And then you're like 4
Then it would
apples,
just go right down.
like a big Muppet mouth.
Hey, does that Goodberry hit
Right.
point? Does that Goodberry hit point tip up? So we just had a long rest, so we're back at full HP. Do we get 1 bonus on top of that for the Goodberry, or no?
Don't eat the good berry.
No.
No,
You
it's
just
not
said
a,
eat 1 now.
You may eat one now if you are hungry. It will sustain you for the entire day.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
They only they only last 24 hours, so don't go crazy with hoarding in them.
How many do we all have?
2 each.
2.
2 each.
Well, I'm going to give one.
Casimir has 1. He's already.
Oh.
Yeah. He was
I'm going to
pretty
give one to
hungry.
Florence,
Okay.
just in case.
Oh, good idea. All right, are we going to chip any gold off, or are we going to just hustle? Phrasing.
I'm going to
You
send.
can always get the gold on the way back, surely, because we will definitely all live.
Yes. Good point. Good point. Let's go.
Okay.
Because then, if they are controlled by the dark ones, I almost called them good ones because Goodberry.
He's being corrupted already.
Yeah, the good ones.
And they're not that dark.
The goodies. We'll come back and they'll probably be our friends.
Probably.
Interesting. Yeah. Bold prediction.
Casimir looks very eager to get going. The thoughts of reviving his sister being very much front of mind for him, and he unsecures the locking mechanism from the door and steps out into the cold.
And is murdered by a revenant.
Yes. Shall we see if we can see them through the?
Let's just. I believe you, American, that they haven't arrived yet. Let's just get a move on it. Let's run.
You can see Casimir
I
walks
agree.
out and turns to face the gateway, and he's kind of just standing there looking at the flickering green curtain of flame, and through the flame you can see glimpses of the portcullis behind it. And behind that portcullis, you can just see 2 revenants, sword in hand, waiting on the opposing side of the portcullis. But they're not moving
knew it.
but they're not getting any closer.
I called it. The Green Gate.
You called it. We live here now, guys.
Life hack: just live on a mountain they can't get to.
All right. We make
Eat
our new
Goodberries.
lives. All right. Shall we give them the fingers and then head off?
Yeah. You give them the things.
They don't seem to really care about Morley and Casimir. They're just standing there looking back. They're not too bothered. The Baron walks out, and again, they don't seem to take much notice. All the skeletons, a parade of skeletons behind Baron now.
I'm going to call in. Bill, American, don't freak out, but the revenants are here, but they're behind the green gate. They can't come through, it looks like.
I'm gonna
I dare
walk
them to
out.
touch me. I'm going to proudly strut out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, these revenants both unsheath their swords when they see both Bill and American, and they raise them up, and their mouths look to be calling out, but the howling of the wind is diminishing any sound from their mouths. But they're not pushing closer.
You should moon them, Bill. Show them your arse as a sign of disrespect.
I moon them.
they one of them, not both of them, one of them frustratingly just starts slashing at some of the stonework, like just giving like two big cracking slashes with his sword, doing minimal damage to the stone, but you can see that the frustration in their actions.
You got him.
Nice
Bill.
one. Nice one.
Does
Bill.
the sword break?
No, the sword doesn't break.
That's it.
I moan harder.
Yeah, keep your ass out.
Yeah. The top 2 inches this game. Mental game. Get inside his head. Fuck him up.
Okay. We win.
It's really hard to moon in medieval times as well, because you got like undo your pants.
It's freezing.
It's
Yeah.
freezing.
It's
Yeah, you're
freezing
gonna get
cold.
frostbite on that.
Bill's ass is rapidly
put the
turning
names.
blue.
I'm gonna do my pants up.
No, that looks like a blueberry.
It's a good berry.
Pretending that Bill's got a tiny ass. Tiny blueberry-sized bottom.
Is that a raspberry?
As you will sort of move away from the gatehouse and the tower, you notice there's an archway sort of heading to the east. Remember, this is, for some reason, it looks north here, but it's actually to the east. And it looks like at each end of this bridge, there's a bridge that's spanning across this gorge in front of you. And the snow's making it so it's quite hard to see the other side of the bridge. And on this side, there's a big stone, 30 foot wide, 30 foot tall stone arch. Like that's the best way to... How big is 30 feet? 10 meters tall? So it's like 4 to 5 stories high. Atop atop the arch is 2 statues of armored knights on horseback with lances charging towards one another. And the wind bites and howls like wolves as it passes through the gorge in front of you.
How deep is this gorge?
From here, I can give you that exact detail actually. You look to be about 500 feet above the bottom of this gorge. So it just sort of drops down as you near this bridge.
Icy river at the bottom.
Yeah. Although it's very hard to even see the river at the bottom thanks to fog and the snow and the blizzard that's sort of taking place around you. The bridge itself has these low walls that enclose the stone bridge, and they've kind of, bits of them have broken away, but the bridge does appear to be intact. On the far end of the bridge, only getting glimpses of it at this point, thanks to the heavy snow, is the shadow of what looks to be a black cloaked rider on a charcoal coloured horse. Just a man on a horse on the far side of the middle of the bridge. Just right in the middle of this bridge.
An actual man.
Christ.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be an apparition. It does look, from where you're at the moment with the amount of snow, whipping past like the silhouette of a man on a horse.
Is it moving?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. It's a 4 total.
Yeah, you might need to move forward. If with a roll of a 4, I'm going to leave this up to you. Do you move forward to get a better look?
No, I just kind of say I can't really tell if he's moving or not with snow and ice whipping around.
Some sort of horse-themed bridge. You've got horse statues up there and horseman over there. It's like a horse area, this place.
Some kind of horse-themed area. Well, I've got no time to mess around today. Bloody freezing. Let me have a look at him. I'm striding forward.
Yeah, you push through this archway. You see, as you enter the archway, small little areas each side of you, that may have been used for storage at some point that are no longer occupied. And you make your way onto the bridge, and the closer you get, the more detail comes into clarity. And what you're seeing now is clear as day. Amidst the snow whipping past you is Strahd atop a charcoal black horse. looks like Bocephalus, but there's no flames coming out of it at this point.
It's Strahd!
Fucking hell.
Oh God. This is where we meet our doom.
Why is he following us up the mountain?
I don't think he's following us. I think he's coming from. He's
I
probably
think he's just been up there.
colluding with the Dark Ones, no doubt.
I'm pissed. I'm just going to shout, what do you want?
There's no response.
Oh, he's so smug.
He's
It
just
pisses me off.
just staring in your direction.
There's no.
Are we
point
still
going up
invited to
and-
dinner?
And there is no response.
Rude.
There's no point to destroying the bridge, is there? He'd escape that. He'd fly away. Yeah, and then we wouldn't be able to get across. Forget that. It's ridiculous.
Oh, he's honestly so annoying. It really annoys me. It's rude to not even respond, honestly.
I know.
It is rude.
Irina's not with him, is she?
No, it is
No.
just him on his horse.
Maybe if someone walks over there and asks them, politely, to get out of the way.
I have half a mind to do it, honestly. I've headed up to here. I'm bloody freezing.
Yeah.
All right, American.
I am terrified. But
We'll all train our weapons on him at once to unleash a firestorm if he strikes out at you.
Yeah,
If he wanted to kill us, he just would, wouldn't he?
that's true.
Well, that's yeah. Still, though, we could put up a good fight.
Maybe
before
he
we
just
die.
wants to talk. He's being so awkward. I'm just going to go. I don't know.
Being awkward.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stride forward again. And I'm just going to say,
Stride
I'll say it again. What do you want?
You move
I'm going to
closer.
stride forward.
You move closer, and he watches you as you move across this bridge. And he doesn't say a word.
Oh, he's really pissing me off. He's probably going to try and collapse the bridge while we're on it. Some kind of funny joke.
Yeah, that is right in his wheelhouse. Just go ask him when we should meet him for dinner. Just pretend like nothing bad has ever happened.
I swear he's going to try and collapse the bridge on me. I swear.
Well, if he does, you'll be okay. Just come back this way.
I'll be fine.
Can't you
Maybe
tell?
Capturing words.
Maybe get
True, I'll just...
Why don't we get Casimir to put flight on you if you think he's going to collapse the bridge?
Clever.
I'm happy.
I mean, I
I'm
can
happy to help.
teleport.
Come
You
on,
seem very
let's-
calm, Casimir. Have you seen Strahd before in person? Have you spoken to him?
Need I remind you of the horrors, Smalley, that I have entailed?
Oh, right. Sorry.
You do remember why we're here, don't you, Maury?
I do.
Why are we there?
Have you heard of this bloke
I'm
before?
more-
No, he did genocide my entire
I'm
family.
More saying, have you spoken to him in person recently?
No.
I don't know if you know this, but we really hate this guy. He's like the worst, and we're his worst enemies, and he
Yeah.
doesn't hate anyone as much as us.
No
Morley,
one's
you
got
can
more of a vendetta.
you can see underneath the external calm that Casimir is still pretty tense at this point, and he's like, he can't look away from Strahd, even though he's trying to help out or be part of the group. He's locked on with Strahd.
It's just so awkward that he's doing this. So controlling. Makes me so angry.
And he just puts Strahd atop that horse, just puts one hand out in like a stop hand sign. Like like almost like he doesn't want you to move any further. But he says nothing.
Traffic. Hold on. This seems very out of character for Strahd, actually. He doesn't seem like he's smug. He's not just waltzing around and his horse isn't on fire. Can I get a close look, perhaps? Or can I see, perhaps, if he is not is a mirage?
Give me I'll go for an investigation roll, but give me an investigation roll with advantage, please.
Advantage. Okay. 15 plus 9 and 11 plus 9. So 24 and 20.
Okay, 24 is great. There's something. Your instincts are right. There's something not right here. It looks completely solid. The snow and the wind is clearly acting around him, so it's not an illusion. But there's something doesn't seem right about the fact that he's not talking. The horse isn't on fire. There's something strange.
Oh, I want to use Mage Hand to pet the horse.
Yeah, okay. I like it.
I love it.
I'm going to turn the hand invisible, and I'm going to do that thing you do to horses' necks, and see if the Mage Hand makes contact or gets any reaction from the horse.
Can you make it invisible?
Yeah, that's the whole point
He
of
can.
Mage Hand
Oh, right, okay.
for me.
You have a special mage
Okay,
hand.
perfect. So yeah, you can absolutely send that out, and you know where it is at all times. You send that out, and it a part of the main moves as the mage hand moves itself through it. But the weirdest thing happens is the main starts crumbling away from the horse, and the path of which the mage hand passes down the head of the horse slowly just turns to ash and gets blown away with the wind. And slowly the entire head of what you thought was Bocephalus crumples through into ash and gets whipped away by the wind. And all of it slowly makes the ash sort of evaporates through the entirety of Bocephalus, up the legs of Strahd, through Strahd's body, through his arms and head, and all of it is just blown away, this ash on the wind.
Did you
I
do that,
wasn't
Morley?
expecting that. I just sent out a hand to give the horse a bit of a pet, but I've destroyed it. I don't think it liked that. It was obviously an illusion, Aaron. You were right. It
Well-
was some sort of construct or illusion.
Either that or if we've just won D&D.
Campaign's over.
You did it!
His
That's-
Achilles heel was petting his horse.
That was the curse. We broke
Worried
it.
about this whole
The
time.
horse that was never shown love. If only Dave was here.
Oh, what a relief.
Okay, I'm gonna
Smooching
march over
horses.
this fucking bridge. This is some shenanigans from Strahd or one of his.
From the
Yes.
dark ones, right?
Oh, potentially, yeah.
Or there could be more mind tricks
all
in the
right.
future.
I'm just glad it wasn't him.
Yeah.
You
But
guys
if it
have-
was, you should look out.
You've made it through Solenska Pass, and you find yourself at a point, not at the base of another mountain, but it is another steep climb up. Ahead of you is just a snowy, almost invisible track, and Casimir confidently takes some steps forward, and you can hear, just under his breath, Casimir says, "I'm coming, my sister," as he pushes forward through the snow. It is
Inspiring.
Resolute.
a relatively uneventful, maybe 3 hours of traveling. You're traveling up this path. You do see at one point the sun behind these outstretched wings atop a point, maybe a few miles away. Clearly something that Mirakin knows well from her communing with nature, but it doesn't seem to heed you any mind, which is probably a good thing right now. What I will say,
She'll be back for Bill later.
let me just bring something. Where are we? I feel like I'm missing some areas. Where are we? Sorry. I just gotta get some information up for you lot. The road. Here is Barovia. Sorry about this. I forgot to bring this one thing up.
Yep. Strahd.
If only we could if only we had the ability to improv while you were doing that, but we don't.
You could send your little messenger, maybe.
Is that
Oh,
a
send your
vote?
messenger. Oh my god, it is.
Snowball.
I didn't prepare that.
No. Didn't do it.
Oh.
Just get a normal vole. Tie a message to it.
I mean, I do have to speak with animals. I could capture a vole and say, listen, look, you don't know me and I don't know you. Okay. But
Give him a good
I want you to
berry.
say hi to a woman in the
Yeah.
town. Far, far away. Can you please run there? We just want to let her know hello.
Yes.
So then she
I
gets,
have-
it's going to get there, and she's going to be like, "Oh, gross, a vole!" And just with a broom.
And it'll be like, we're okay, Irina. And then it just dies.
Oh, so
like a
romantic.
Run a marathon.
You get to a point a few hours in where the road branches off. It continues off to the east and branches north, and you can see off in the distance to the north that the road sort of fades away under a covering of snow, and you can see the facade of some kind of openings in the sheer mountainside ahead. So let me just show you what that looks like. Can you guys see that?
Oh wow! I was not expecting it to look like that.
Yeah.
The
It's not even amber.
No, well, not from the outside. The front of the structure is easily 50.
I was expecting more.
Disappointing. Why are we even here?
It's easily 50 feet high. The front of this structure, and has 6 of these alcoves containing these 20-foot tall statues. Each statue is carved from a single block of amber, and depicts a faceless, hooded figure, its hands pressed together in a gesture of prayer. Between the 2 innermost statues is a 20-foot tall archway with a staircase leading down.
Does it look like a skull to you guys? Look, up on the mountain above that, looks like 2 lidded eyes. And then a bit of a hole for a nose. And
Nose. And a wide Julia Roberts like mouth.
it's the Roberts Temple. Anything could be in there.
Damn, I'm going to have to... How many skeletons did you end up having? I need to
Richard
just
Gere.
bring them alive here for you as well.
7.
7? Okay. Let's just make sure these guys are all here for you, Shannon.
Thank you.
The other thing that you do notice, just coming from off to the west, is almost like a flickering of light coming off another sort of smaller, less obvious alcove off to the west
Ooh. Flickering lights.
from
I
here.
say we check them out. I would like
Yeah,
to see the
well,
flickering lights.
Should I sneak over there and try and get a bit of a closer look? It looks to be like a craggy wall there. I could stick close to the shadows and see what I can see.
Good idea.
Yes.
Okay, I'll
And you
do
can
that.
message with Bill.
Sure.
And the rest of you just like staying tight, like a good 50, 70 feet away from the entrance and the alcoves and the statues.
Yeah.
Stay in touch.
Give us a stealth roll, Morley.
20.
Oh yeah, great. Okay, yeah.
Nice.
You're definitely with the howling winds and the snow being pushed around. You're managing to effortlessly sort of make your way across to this small little alcove, and you can see that there's like this natural fissure has opened up in that little alcove into the mountainside, and it looks like maybe it's just a 2-foot wide gap, a little fissure there, and there's about 10-foot tall fissure, and maybe it's about 15 feet deep before it opens up into something. And from the other side of the room, you can see that the room is lit by some kind of flickering light, probably a fire of some sort. And you can hear like human voices coming from there. You can't really make out what they're saying, but it seems to be very small sentences being said, very basic kind of rhythm to these voices. What you do see clearly is a dire wolf that's sort of curled up next to what must be the light source.
Ah, is that what that is? It looked like a panther with a surfboard on the map.
That's the other thing that's in the room. That's
Oh my god, that's so
that's
cool.
also in the
Oh my
room.
god, I can't wait.
And that's where we're going to leave it, a panther of the surf force.
I'm looking forward to the fan art of Surf Panther.
Surf's up, dudes. Cowabunga.
With the
Can I message? I can't initiate with Bill, right? Bill has to message me.
Conveniently, though, that's exactly when Bill's messages you and says, what do you see?
There's a crack in the rock, Bill. It's quite large. The crack is small, but it goes up a long way. Inside, I can see a wolf curled up. It's a room with lights. There's people speaking, but I can't make out what they're saying. There's definitely creatures in here that could do you some harm, like the wolf.
Any surfing panthers?
Yes, it's really crazy you should ask. What I'm quite clearly seeing is a panther that resembles Kelly Slater almost.
I've got a question for the DM.
No, it's not a
Would we-
surfing panther. I'm sorry.
Damn it! I want to know if any of us would have seen a direwolf before we saw that one mounted in the guard tower, because I personally do not know what a direwolf is and how
You
it
guys have
differs from a
fought-
regular wolf.
You guys have fought direwolves before, I believe, back in the
Yeah,
Lost
so
Mine
maybe.
of Vandelver. You absolutely, they're big, beastly wolves, basically.
Big
They're-
wolves.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Big wolf. They should just call them big wolves.
They are a large beast. You've fought them before. They have, they bite. You know that they bite.
What?
should they need to, they bite. Yeah. What do you want to know?
Okay, so from a druid's point of view, are they animals or are they monsters?
They're
Because
animals.
there's a difference.
They're-
Okay,
they're animals.
okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
I'm sneaking back now.
Okay,
to the
cool.
group.
The one thing that you would take from this, Molly, is that you probably could squeeze your way through there if needed. Like, it's 2 foot wide. It wouldn't be comfortable, but you could do it.
Okay. Do we go right up through the guts of it, through the middle, down the stairs where you're clearly meant to go, or should we sneak in, cause a ruckus?
I'm inclined to sneak in because they might have some clues about what the fuck is going on this way. So you say they were chanting?
Well, I heard voices.
Or
They were quite quiet in small sentences. Really, it could have been a chant. Well, actually, I should probably ask.
It wasn't
Regan.
a chant. It wasn't a
It
chant.
was
wasn't.
not a chant, okay.
I categorically did not hear any chanting.
I was just thinking this place seems to it's a temple. Are there monks and things like that?
Not all temples are the same, Brian. There are many religions all over the world.
That's true.
So ignorant.
Yeah, you've really highlighted my absolute ignorance. I thought they were all like our true religion.
Listen, if I lived in an old temple with a direwolf for protection, I'd probably be rather suspicious if someone came crawling through my wall and would have to be in single file. The first person to come through the crack would be completely vulnerable.
Exactly.
true.
You don't want people crawling through your crack. You want people coming through the front of the house, the front of the temple where you're expecting them. Or you see it as a threat.
Only gentlemanly. Well, I suppose that I could send in some skeletons. They could form a bit of a barricade while we all go through.
Brian, I don't know how to put this, but most people would see skeletons and perceive them as a threat. I know it's hard for you to understand, but I don't think they would say, "Oh, a nice friendly group of skeletons are coming to visit us for tea."
Well, I hate to say it, but you're probably right about that. But are you assuming that we're not just going to kill all these people?
I don't even know that, Brian.
That's true.
Like, out of character.
But they did. Okay, well, should we go through the front door then?
I suppose.
Yep. What? Hang on. Is it time for another zany plan. Maybe we could be rug sales. Pellet sales.
Just Morley sidling through the crack, dragging a rug.
We're dressed as a rug. You're all dressed as rugs right now.
Oh, that's
as well.
true. We don't even have a rug anymore.
Ask them for a chair.
We
Well,
could say we're missionaries for the Morning Lord. Oh, that's probably massively insensitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
At an existing religion.
Yes, true. Well, I mean, we are missionaries, so we've got to convert them, even if they are a different religion. Well, just pop your head and say, "Yoo-hoo! Are we in the right place?"
Are we in the right place?
Have we got anything like invisibility, or can we make like a
Turning into gas.
Yeah, I've got the guess thing.
Do you
I've
have
got
the
guess.
or summoning like a celestial fly on the wall or something? Maybe we try to.
Or
work out
I
what
could
we're talking
turn
about.
into an animal, such as a small animal that could fit through a crack discreetly.
Right.
Anyone
Like a
who
roll.
anyone who sneaks in and is revealed will be in so much danger. Surely we should just come around to them, and if they attack us, at least it's not one person sidling through a crack getting all beaten up while everyone else stands outside screaming.
I could send in a small 20-foot wide, 40-foot wide fireball.
Just as a warning shot. I like it.
What across the bow?
And if they end up attacking us, it's because they were vicious and,
Yeah.
and beyond
Yeah.
beyond
people
reasonable
say hello.
conversation.
I think that this is a bit of an interesting entrance without going, it's a fissure in the rock where someone's set up to live. There's obviously voices. How about we at least say hello? They're going to find us eventually if we go in, right? Either we say hello or we sneak in and kill them. Up to you.
What? Why do we have to kill them?
No, I'm not saying we have to, but
I'm just saying we will,
That's
but
an
we don't.
or we say hello. I mean, are we being friendly or are we being aggressive?
You're
We should
being-
definitely approach with caution and calm.
I think we should be aggressively friendly.
Yeah. Okay, then why don't we say hello to them if we're going to be so friendly?
Okay. Agreed.
Okay.
Bill?
Don't forget, Joe.
Really,
how about
You do have this,
Sure,
the power
I'll-
of Needle's wheel behind you as well. Remember, when you next
I
need to
do.
be charismatic, you will be
I
charismatic.
do.
Ah, yes.
Bill's
Well-
already quite charismatic, isn't he?
Counterintuitively.
Yes. Well, so we're just going to go waltz up to the crack and go, hello there.
Why
Wait,
not?
why are we going to the crack? We're going to the front door.
Going to the front door.
Surely.
So hold on. The stairs at the front door lead down, right?
They do.
And the crack is on the same level that we're on.
Well, the crack went through into a room that he could see. So it would be about the same. Well, you don't know. There was definitely a drop at the other end of the fissure, but it was looking into a room.
Decisions are not our strong suit.
No.
Let's just go in.
Which way? The front
front
door or
way.
the? Okay.
Front door.
Okay, we're missing out on saying hi to these.
We're going to
would-
say hi, Brian. We're just going to do it like normal people instead of sidling through a crack.
Okay.
This
You
is
guys.
like the equivalent of your neighbor like opening up your window and being like, "Hi, what are you
Yeah.
doing?"
Yeah.
you guys all start moving towards the main entranceway to what you can only assume at this point is the Amber Temple. As you get closer and closer to that entranceway, there is just an absolute sense of the presence of just great evil emanating from this building.
Oh,
Oh, how's my hilt?
It is no. How's my hill? Well, was fat the right word? Are we still going back to that? Are we? Your fat hilt is nervous. There is like nervousness coming from your fat hilt. It is. There's like you as you feel that sense of evil wash over you, your hand finds its way to the hilt, and there's no comfort coming from that. Sorry. From having your hand on it. God damn it.
Why are we like this?
And there's only like at least like a shimmer of good coming from it, but it does nothing to quash the overwhelming presence of evil that you're feeling from this temple. And you start making your way down these icy steps, descending 10 feet into this time-ravaged hallway. There are arrow slits on the walls, and beyond the hall that you're in lies this vast darkness. Through the arrow slits on your left looks to be just an empty room, but through the arrow slits on the right, Baron, you notice what looks to be slumped in the northeastern corner, a skeleton wearing a blue wizard's robe and clutching a wand to its chest.
A blue wizard.
And that's where we'll end it tonight.
We made it to the temple, though.
Yeah, I wasn't sure it was going to happen.
We actually walked into it.
Yeah.
Didn't get far.
But you're there. You're in.
We're there.
You're in the Amber Temple.
We've done it, guys.
We did it. We beat Strahd already. Now this is just gravy.
So, fucking, it's evil. This place is evil.
This must be where we have our parade for beating Strahd.
This is like the
dark
surprise.
ones are going to be.
There's a big surprise party inside the temple. There's going to be like banners and "Yay, you did it" signs.
Yay! You'll be like, roll perception. Streamers come down from the ceiling.
Yeah. LARP Kiwi says, have your backup characters ready for the next session.
No.
Well, I'm going to be that blue wizard.
Yeah. Well, you're wearing your nice rug. Warm
I
gear
swear, if Baron dies and we have to deal with a centaur character, I'm quitting the game. I'm sorry, it's just not happening.
I'm going to come back as an automated orange car.
No. Oh my god. You could
Like a transformer, like a bumblebee, but orange.
You missed our session where we rated all the different D&D races, and I'm fully against those automaton things. What are they?
Warforged.
Warforged. You come back as like an orange car-based Warforged looking thing.
You wouldn't be keen. That's weird because I've already made a Warforged centaur.
Hideous.
Good game, everyone. Really good. I loved some of the uses of spells. How's everyone doing for inspiration points at the moment?
I don't have one.
What was that, Shannon?
I haven't used mine in a year.
Okay. All right. Well, Joe, I would like to offer you that point of inspiration for the commune with nature. I thought that was.
Yeah, thank you.
I also liked that Adam guessed that the green flames were going to keep the revenants out.
Yeah, that was really good.
Was it?
Yeah,
That was pretty obvious, I thought.
I mean, it is pretty obvious, but I didn't think of it.
Yeah, you're the only one that thought about it. So.
I thought that they could climb like we did.
But you guys used rope and like gear and flying.
They're determined. I thought they'd claw the very rock.
They're not going to put themselves in danger. Just
Are they?
Just to get there. They want to kill you. They don't want to kill themselves.
Well, that begs the question, doesn't it? If they don't want to put themselves in danger, why'd they fucking come after us then? Because they got a whole can of danger with their names on. What are their names, by the way?
Bill showed his can of danger.
You see, yeah.
On the other side of that fat portcullis.
Yeah, this will always be remembered.
Would you call my portcullis?
Well, you showed them that as well. That was going a bit far.
Man, I have prepared so much more than I needed tonight. That's for sure. That was like a long prep session yesterday, but it means I'm well prepared for next week. Yeah, I'm excited.
You were preparing the Amber Temple, but you should have been preparing the Fat Thicket.
Yeah.
Because surprised we came out of that thicket, you know?
It was that fat, wasn't it? Huge.
Who would want to leave?
And I'm also very glad that you decided to go investigate the top of the tower to make sure you found some extra skeletons for you.
Yeah. So you didn't just pop those in?
They're in the book. That's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued about these snow maidens. Hope we get to the bottom of that. Sound like my kind of gals.
Well, you've left them.
Oh, murderous.
You've left them there now.
We'll be back. We'll be back to desecrate these beautiful statues for our own material gain. Don't worry.
I like that. Like, I didn't even think that you guys would look at these golden statues and go, "Let's peel all the gold off." I guess.
I mean, we're so poor. There's nothing of value in Barovia, and I've got some juicy fat spells that I would like to cast, but cannot afford.
I am 100% going to have to Google to see what other people have decided the value of the gold on those statues is worth, just in case you guys go back to try and.
What do you mean, just in case?
Just in case.
It's my number one priority.
We don't know what's going to happen. Lapke says he'd
true.
like to apologise to Julia Roberts, who watches us on YouTube. So
No.
Hey, I wasn't knocking her giant mouth. I was just saying
fat.
that it's big.
It's true. It's not an insult for it's her iconic beauty.
It's a
her
feature.
distinctive face. Yeah. Yeah, it's not
Yeah. Pretty
Random-
woman. I mean,
it's in the title.
True, it's
She's
in the
pretty.
title.
Random Origin said the Ring of Invisi would have been perfect to go and say hi. Have you still got the Ring
Yeah,
of Invisi?
it would if it ever fucking worked.
So good.
Instead of biting my finger every time.
I like that you guys decided just to go through the main entrance.
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I just don't.
Crack.
I just don't think it's a great move to sidle through a crack where you can
One of
clearly
these
see like
squeezing through this crack.
sidling through a crack into the people you don't even know, and they've
Well-
clearly got like a massive guard dog, and
Here's
just
the
like
thing. Like, if they did turn out to be aggressive, we just shoot a fireball in there. A couple of fireballs. Boom, boom.
we can still do that.
Yeah, but we've gone to the front entrance. It's so evil, apparently.
Like, so
And there's
evil.
arrow slits on either side of us. This is like, hey, welcome to fucking the killing floor. We just get...
Okay, so next session we'll turn around and we'll go through the slit.
So
It's not too late.
It
But
is.
we did see a blue wizard.
By the way, it is complete darkness within this temple. Other like you said, as on the other side of that hall that you were in, there's like no light from within this temple. It is just complete black darkness.
Oh.
Even for elves?
Well, so what is it? So in complete
Be dim.
darkness, you can see dim light. Is that right?
Mm.
Yeah, and that's only to 60 feet.
So it's like getting up in the night to go to the toilet.
A little bit, yeah.
Yes. You'd be
Um,
your eyes are acclimatized, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Baron, you don't have dark vision, right?
Rub it in.
So I'm just going to say you're going to need
Everyone else has it.
You're going to need some means of seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have torches.
Yeah. I just want to make sure it's on your mind going into this, not just like.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, DM?
Mm-hmm.
If we died, do you have a break glass in case of emergency plan? Like, do we like suddenly appear in the mists again and like, right, you're starting from the start, or do you have a plan?
The
that
Death
isn't that?
House. You find yourselves at the stairs of the Death House.
Yeah. Or
There's
can
a
you even
monster.
tell us?
I can't tell you. Otherwise,
But we would be level 9 if we restarted.
True, New Game Plus.
Game Plus. We just speed run it, killing every NPC we meet.
All I can say is, trust me, to make sure that like I have everyone's, including the viewers' best interests in mind, and mine as well. So there's
Never gonna die. We're invincible, guys. Let's just
reading-
charge in through the front door. Let's play the end of it now. Spin it back up. Spin the map up. We're going in.
What I would suggest though is for everyone to have another character in mind.
Yeah.
blue.
Just in
wizard.
case.
Except not a centaur, just to be
Your
clear.
character is the already dead blue wizard inside the temple.
Perfect.
Just in case. Just in case.
My character is Strahd.
Yeah.
So,
Play
I
by
release
arena.
myself from the curse.
Yeah, just because I may have something in mind doesn't mean your character is part of that plan. So make sure you've got a new character in mind.
Oh man.
Rings,
Shouldn't
I've
have
already.
ordered that $10,000 worth of Morley merch. What a fool.
Yeah.
I'm gutted we can't continue exploring now. We have to wait.
Yeah.
Before our TPK.
It was a good time to call it. I think whether you'd gone to the fissure on the left hand side or through the main entrance.
Oh, so they're
it was going-
fishers.
Fissure.
Fisher.
Fine, I'll use
Fissure.
simpleton words. The crack in the wall. If you'd gone
What's
to that
that?
instead,
Fistula.
there would have been
Wall hole.
there was a good time to.
Or the glory hole of the Amber Temple.
But it's so. But whose statue would this be designed for? Oh God!
If only there was a fat thicket around here. Okay.
I wonder what percentage of our game is just us laughing at something, a double entendre that like has no business being
Like
there.
10%, surely, easily.
I'd love it if there was another stream that was playing this exact campaign at the same rate as us, and people were flicking across them and like, oh my god, I walk in through the crack in the rock and I see before mine eyes, and then on our like, oh, I slide my fat thicket through the glory hole.
Which would you rather watch, Adam? Come on.
I don't know. That
that.
first one sounded good.
Yeah, you did make that sound really good, actually. Yeah. There's not the amount of like energy you just put into that fake stream. I haven't seen in any real stream. Okay, so
Now you've made it. You've set the bar really high. Now we have to reach that.
I don't even know if
Damn
I can
it.
handle that
next
intensity
week.
for like a 2-hour stream either. That'd be
That'd be good.
on the edge of your seat, wouldn't it? It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I can only maintain intensity in my voice for 5 seconds tops before I just start laughing at how ridiculous it is. Sorry,
What's the problem?
because it's just so laughable. It's just silly.
I managed to whisper.
Trying
and
is for
that's what's
losers. Game. What an idiot.
I tell you what, one of my favorite things when we play is when each of you embrace your characters. That's where I really enjoy it the most. I love Adam, you putting on that voice all the time. I like when Morley calls for like the spirits. I like Joe and I.
Morley calls for
Sorry,
spirits?
American.
I like it
sorry.
when I do that as well. Yeah. American
one of
is
your best
Steal my bit.
Oh, there.
I like that we've found a way for Bill to bring some of his voice back when he's trying to be charismatic and charming. I think that's awesome.
Yes.
And I really like Joe and I were talking about the time the Burgomaster prodded the Baron in the chest, and you, Shannon, were like, "Ow!" And I was like, "That's that was good." That's when I get the most enjoyment out of it, when you guys are embracing like your characters. So do it more, okay? I don't bring you on every Monday to just kind of do it every now and then. No, it's great. You guys are awesome.
Shape up.
Shame out. No, please don't. Stay. Please stay. Please. I think that's us for the
Do you
night.
think it's possible to fit through a arrow slit?
Tune in next week to find out.
maybe you're a bit of a rake, aren't you?
True. a glory slit.
Don't ever use that term again. Or I'm out. That's worse than orange car.
Thanks for reminding me. Actually, I have to get that teed up.
Let's
The car, I mean, not the other thing.
Oh boy. Jesus. But could you tee that up?
Anymore.
Because no, never mind. Sorry. That's us for the night. Thanks for watching. Thanks you guys for playing. You guys have been always awesome. I can't wait to get further into the Amber Temple. It's going to be very, very cool. I think I've put an event in the Discord for each of our next 4 sessions. I think we've got 4 more before we'll be calling it for the year, as well as our Christmas special that we're still trying to find a date for. Please, all of you in the player only Discord, please talk about when we can do that so we can lock that in.
Oh, haven't we done that?
We're as good at making
ethereal.
Decisions as we are in the game.
I think it's going to take Joe just for you to say it's this day, this time.
We're doing next Saturday in the afternoon, unless someone goes,
it
no,
next
I
Saturday?
cannot.
The 4th?
Sorry, is
Two
it 2
Saturdays,
Saturdays
no.
away?
2 Saturdays
Sorry.
away.
Yes.
I'm only hesitant because I may have a work Christmas thing for Wellington people.
Okay.
But it hasn't been. That hasn't been
That locked in yet.
It's a long story. Okay. I'd rather not. I'm trying to forget about work. Okay. That's why I'm like,
Yeah, sorry.
Are you doing a work thing on a Saturday?
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, we've got a person travelling from Christchurch, so yeah.
Oh, do they not have planes during the week?
People can't travel from Christchurch on any other day.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you, everyone. Come and join us in the Discord. Go check out our other stuff. Support us on Patreon or subscribe to us here. Come say hi in Twitter or wherever. If you can tell, I am boiling at the moment. This room is so hot. So I'm going to call it
Very
here.
warm tonight.
Yeah. See you guys at the same time next time.
Yeah.
Next week.
Oh, it was so close.
I was almost ready to hit stop. Good night. All right, good night, everyone.